and we are rolling.
Oh, okay, good. I got all the JoJo stands and everything.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So proud of you.
Yeah.
All right, should I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Should I go?
Yep.
All right. When listening to our show, keep this in mind. Our stories do not make sense. Our time is not valuable. Our friends lost interest. And above all, why should we care when you clearly don't?
Welcome to the Brooks and Zach 100 Years Podcast. This is a show about talking, where each and every episode we bring new topics to discuss until we've covered absolutely everything, even if it takes us 100 years. My name is Brooks Vernon. I am the creator of the show and the co-host of it.
And the daddy. You are the daddy of our show.
The big boy daddy.
Yeah. I birth every episode from my Audacity womb.
I don't like how you said any of those words.
I liked all those words.
Over across from me is currently looking up Jojo stands is my co-host and co-creator of the show, Zach Teal.
I don't know if I'm a co-creator.
Well, okay.
He just kind of shows up.
I do show up.
Your name is in the title of the thing. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
To my right is our frequent co-host and collaborator, Josh Yaskovich.
Hello.
And to my left is our main man, our other co-host and main sound engineer, Liam Wallace.
Yeah.
Wow. So happy about
Liam's
that.
real happy to be here, guys.
I don't think you need direction of where people are.
Look, it's nice to have some kind of spatial awareness.
Yeah, it's for the audience.
Yeah, it's for the audience because they have no visuals to go along with.
It helps with the immersion of the show.
Yeah.
All right.
Liam is always happy to be here.
So how is everybody?
I'm doing all right. It's been
Don't
a while
you lie
since
to him.
Yeah, look me in the eyes. Are you doing drugs? Look at you. Look at your shirt. Those are drugs.
Well, I'm not doing drugs.
Look at your shirt. Those are drugs. What?
I'm not doing drugs, but you got me. I'm not doing all right. But
I did not know that's where I was going to turn.
By definition of all right, I don't think any of us are doing all right.
Okay, I guess. I'm looking up JoJo right now, so I'm in a pretty good place.
I mean, in the moment, but are you okay? Are you all right?
I get my computer fixed, so that's fine.
Are you all right?
Do you want to know? You want to just get to these JoJo questions?
before we get to the JoJo stuff, just a bit of housekeeping. Yes, we did unfortunately miss an episode last week because
Thanks to Josh.
I was not told the issue whatsoever.
Well, it wasn't really Josh's fault. It's just the issue was what it was, and we didn't really have anything to fill in the gap. But what happened was various ones of us were going on vacation and doing other things, so we recorded 2 episodes back to back.
Yeah.
And the one that got published first, which is the Drunk Zach Questions one, that was actually the second episode we recorded. And the first one, which was about E3, that file got corrupted, and we didn't have... I thought I could fix the issue by the time that the next episode would need to come out, but unfortunately that just didn't happen. So.
See, I do not remember talking about E3.
Yeah.
Do you not?
No.
I do.
Was that the main topic? Is that the most we
that
talked
was
about?
the main topic. I came up with that fantastic episode title, which I didn't get a chance to use. You, me, and E3.
Yeah. Remember, because we talked about movie trailers and game trailers for a little bit.
We talked about
Wow.
we talked about Mario Odyssey and how much you think it looks like Sonic.
Oh, right.
Even though it's gonna be a million times better than anything
Stop.
that Sonic could ever.
Stop.
I'm cautious. I don't know how to feel about Mario Odyssey.
I think it's gonna be good. I mean,
it looks fun.
Yeah.
And I'm not even a Nintendo guy. I'm not big on those.
Yeah.
I'm a Nintendo boy. Oh, I love Nintendo.
You can it comes down to personal preference, how much you're into it. But let's be honest, just from a standard outside perspective, how many main series Mario games aren't fun?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So if nothing else, it's gonna be a fun game.
Didn't you say it's gonna be a little bit like Mario 64 or Galaxy?
You see the way
Looks like it.
They said that
I really like those. Those were really fun.
Nintendo said that the way that they're looking at it is if you put the games on 2 different tracks, where you have Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine on one track, and then you have Mario Galaxy and 3D World and all that kind of stuff on the other. they say Mario Odyssey goes on the track with 64 and Sunshine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
I
that's
didn't like
weird.
Sunshine.
I thought
I
it
love
was-
64, but
Oh,
I
I
didn't like Sunshine.
loved Sunshine.
I never played either, so.
Oh, that game
You ever
was
played
so
Mario
fun.
64?
No, I have not.
Why
Oh,
not?
that's sad.
I've just never gotten the chance.
That
First,
hurts me a little bit.
First
That's
console I ever owned was a PlayStation 2, so I've always been a Sony boy.
I never played Mario 64 on the Nintendo 64. I played it on the DS when it came out.
I
for
mean,
that.
at least you played it.
Yeah. Oh,
I
that
played it at a friend's house when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like 5 or 6 years old.
I just
We would
remember the first time
hammer it out.
I ever played Super Mario Sunshine. It was right after I got my appendix taken out, and I remember feeling
God.
like
Yeah?
super gross and terrible, and it hurt to sit up because I was like 7.
I'm sure.
And I was like, I'm a little bitch, baby. And then
Okay, let's be honest. If you're
You were 7.
if you're 7 and
Yeah.
you got your fucking one of your organs removed, you get a little bit of leeway.
yeah. We're giving you some benefit of the doubt on that one.
anyway, so I sat up, and then she's like, "You want to play some Mario?" And I'm like, "Which Mario?" And she's like, fucking this one. It's
This one, this water one.
It's GameCube." I'm like, "Don't you patronize me, bitch."
You said that.
Who was this you were talking to?
The nurse.
Okay,
I thought it was your mother.
Yeah, I also thought it was your mother.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you were in the hospital.
But
I thought
it's
you were
like
at home.
it's like totally okay to call a nurse a bitch.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And they're just like, whatever. You'll
Have you
probably
learned
die.
nothing from House?
I think the only time that I've ever really played an actual N64 was when my family, we would go, at least my mother and my siblings would go to the barber shop. There was this local one just near the Safeway.
Christoph's.
And
They had the
I think,
N64.
They had the
Yeah.
N64. I would play Rogue Squadron on it. Yeah.
Me too. I remember that.
Sweet.
I remember playing it once, and there was this while I was playing it, there was a kid that just wouldn't shut the fuck up. While I'm shooting stuff, he's like, "Whoa, shoot it! Yeah! Oh, I'm gonna get you! Oh, bad guy!"
Liam, surprise! It was me.
I was going to say, oh, wow, you guys were meant to be friends. Whoa.
It was
Say
destiny.
were or weren't.
We'll let the audience decide.
And then the only other time I ever played N64 games were when I was younger and we had a Wii and the Virtual Console became a thing, and I'm just begged my parents, just hey, I want to get one of the old games. I want to get one of these old games. And they're just like, okay, you get a game. You're gonna get a game that we're gonna buy you on the Virtual Console. It's either gonna be this Mario game or this Zelda game. And I'm like, I want to play the Zelda one. And then I played the shit out of Ocarina of Time. So
yeah. Never beat it. I don't think I've ever beaten a single Zelda game.
I
I played a
beat
lot of them. Never beat a
I
single
have
one.
Breath of the Wild, and I just stopped right before the final boss.
I always do that. I always do that with games because you don't want to finish it. You want to save it
Yeah.
for a rainy day, and then it just sits there and gathers dust.
Yeah.
you see, there's usually two types of games that I sort of gravitate towards. It's either games with very good stories that I want to complete, like a good single player thing, or a game that's just open ended to the point where there's really no end. One of my favorite games is called Mountain Blade Warband, and that doesn't have the single player in that. It doesn't have a story. You just do whatever, and I've put 500 hours into that. So
It's a lot of hours.
it is a lot. It's not as much as Matt put in. He's put over 1,000 hours into that same game.
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, the most amount of time I've heard somebody put, that I know, that put into a game was Ethan Spencer, and he played Guild Wars 2 for over 2,000 hours. And I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
He's like, yeah, I maxed out a lot of characters. I got so bored one time, I decided to make a really low-level character and just make his name Keeper of the Grail. And I ran around just telling everybody that I was the Keeper of the Grail. They started chasing me.
Didn't he go to jail, or is that another Ethan?
That was a different Ethan.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's
no,
Ethan
Ethan
Klein
Spencer's in
you're
New York
thinking of.
being really successful, isn't he?
I don't know if he's really successful. I know he's better than us.
Yeah.
But
He's just
So
better
he's
than us.
successful, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he's better than us in every way, essentially.
I'll have to send him this podcast and be like, just send us some money.
Hey,
Just a little bit.
for a second when you said you were going to send him this podcast, I thought you were going to go the route of hey, you think you're hot shit, check this out. But no, it's
No, it's
please, for the
please.
love of God, give us some money.
Please notice that we're trying, is what I'm
Yes.
saying.
and he'll look at it, click on the link, listen to the first 15 seconds ago. Okay.
Nino.
And then he signs the check right there.
No, he'll listen to it and go, oh, all right. And then he'll respond back to you wow, real great stuff. Okay, see
Really
you later.
funny. Ha ha
And then
lol.
I'll never respond to it.
Hey, I know the Squarespace demon. Do you want to? That I shouldn't do that because that's a reference to a joke we made when we weren't recording, and people won't get it.
To be fair, I don't think anybody's going to get anything we just said.
No,
No, probably not.
What?
Unless it's Ethan.
the podcast is for us
sure.
first and foremost.
Yeah.
Which is funny because like only 3/4 of the hosts listen to it.
Yeah.
I thought it was about half.
No, Josh listens to it sometimes.
Yeah, usually when I'm in the shower.
I listened to Liam's podcast.
I once again, same thing as last time. There's not even a first episode, so don't fucking say that.
Oh, so you didn't? Oh yeah, you said you didn't.
I had to delete it all because it didn't sound good.
Why'd you
welcome.
delete it? You could be a little
It was
a bootleg.
It just
when you're
didn't sound
famous.
great. It sounded awful. Actually.
So,
I'm
are
just
you
gonna
saying
redo it.
that? Are you saying that your issue with it was the sound quality,
Yes.
and not the actual content?
Yeah, it was the sound quality, and I was like really, I guess, timid when I was recording it because the whole thing kind of just sounds like this.
Yeah, it's.
And I was like, well, re-listening to that, it's like, I was really bad.
You see, like it's such a different kind of like environment to
Yeah.
be recording in when you're just doing it by yourself. Because I remember when everyone was off doing something like this was at the beginning of the year, and I did the episode about Sam's Town, and that was just me talking for an hour and a half.
You had like a real bad poop episode after that, didn't you?
That was probably one of the worst weeks of my life. Wow. Because what happened was my emotional state and my physical state just sort of matched up and synced up to just awfulness, and I almost died, and it was just I almost died, and I very much wanted to die. So
And now you're here.
that was the state. That was
now
the
we have a
state.
Brooks boy.
Yeah.
Everybody, we got a Brooks boy.
I don't
Oh,
know.
boy.
Recent weeks might have been topping
Stop
that.
doing that.
Leaning in the
Yeah,
back.
Liam was giving me shit. He's like, before
I can
the podcast,
hear you.
Before the
Yeah,
podcast,
I know. I want someone to know that I've been having I've been having a real rough month, Liam.
I want someone to hear me.
I want someone to hear.
I just know that
I think. All right, hold on. I know what you're gonna say, but I think everyone gets one of those a show, and you already had yours. That's two now. I already had mine.
I had mine. You had yours.
Yeah, when I was talking about how I sounded on the podcast,
Oh yeah.
on my podcast.
Now I have to save mine.
You've pretty much been doing it the entire time.
All
Like
right,
you're
well,
eating the fuck out of your mic.
I'll leave. I'll go.
Yeah.
Take all my.
I haven't done it yet, just because I know Liam has.
I think the idea. Did you just mute everyone who's not you?
No,
No, I thought that's what he did.
Yeah.
Did you mute me?
Because I
I turned you up because you took the mic away.
Oh, okay. my
Yeah.
bad. I'm just trying to I want to make you happy, Liam. I don't know where to put it. Where do you want me to put it?
You're
I'll
fine.
just put
I
it
can
anywhere.
I can mess with it as we go. You're fine.
You, can put
you
it
don't have to do
anywhere.
any of the work. Just let Liam
Yeah.
do his thing.
Oh, I'll do it in a
I
minute.
sound like that mom and dad.
Oh God. Okay, we are recording again. So what I was about to say.
Get your burps out now, boys.
Ugh, I can feel like another one brewing, but it's not strong enough to actually happen.
Oh, I hate that feeling.
Yeah. But you actually started a podcast with Connor.
Yep.
Called You'll Like 'Em. And I listened to the first episode, and we put it on the channel, and I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah.
The only thing that I didn't enjoy is that you can very clearly hear Game Grumps playing in the background
yeah.
for
Fucking
both
kidding
of you.
me?
No.
Yeah, and it's
'cause
super unprofessional.
We both were like, what the fuck ever. We don't know what to do. Let's just do something.
You're just watching shit in the background.
I'm not watching shit. I just had it like on in the background.
Bad.
That is,
No, I know.
It was super bad.
Well, because I didn't like.
Which is a shame because the rest of the podcast is super interesting, but that's incredibly distracting.
I'm sorry. Well, we haven't done it since, so I'm sorry.
I think that's copyright infringement too. Like I don't think you can even post
You
that.
you can't hear like any like actual thing. It's just like a bunch of noise.
Okay,
is
so
what
yeah,
it
I
is.
thought they just had like the TV on in the background. I didn't know it was
Yeah.
Game Grumps until they both
Yeah.
separately told me that on both ends of their Skype
Yeah.
call they were watching different episodes
Well,
of Game Grumps.
So okay, that's even worse.
Wow.
Well, because
It was just a clusterfuck
no,
of game.
because really, basically, what it was a test, and was like, all right, well, we have an episode, so fuck it. But like, no, we haven't done it since.
because that's
It's fine.
that's the best attitude to go at, when you're making.
because we didn't know what it was going to be at first. Like we were like, let's just kind of do our own thing because we don't
Stop
see each
touching
other.
the mic, you piece of
I'm
shit.
sorry. I'm just so used to
Move
touching
it back
things.
from your face.
Oh, God.
You keep
And
moving it like closer and closer to
I
your
don't want
mouth.
to be the enemy of today's episode. Can it be Brooks? Look at him. Just look at him.
He's fine.
Fuck.
Thank
us
you,
back to
Liam.
our
That's the
sponsor,
nicest thing that anyone has ever said about me.
He's fine. But no,
sad.
that was just the one episode. We haven't done it since. I'm sorry.
No, that's the only thing I'm giving you shit for is because if the entire thing was shitty, then I wouldn't even bring it up. But the fact that you guys actually talked about interesting stuff, it just kind of annoyed me that you have that one
I'm
thing.
sorry.
So
let's compare first episodes then.
And then you're doing better than me in that I have that thing that I recorded with Bradley, which I still haven't finished editing. So I still gotta put that together.
Oh yeah, how is that?
The content of it itself is funny. It's just I'm grappling with the way to present it because I want it to be. It's going to be a video thing and not an audio thing. So yeah, it's going to be about Ghost Dad.
Oh,
I was really hoping it was still going to be about disco worms, but you just kept saying it was about Ghost
It
Dad.
was about Ghost Dad because I really didn't want to watch Disco Worms again because I knew we had. Okay, so the rule that Bradley and I instated is that we watch, like on one day, we watch whatever movie we're going to be talking about and we take notes on it, and then the following day before we record, we watch it again so it's fresh in our minds. So I knew that if I had chosen Disco Worms for the first episode,
you almost vomited a little bit right there.
It would bring my tally of how many times I've seen Disco Worms to 6, and I didn't want that. I'd rather have two viewings of Ghost Dad rather than 6 of Disco Worms.
Dude, that movie is great.
I don't think I've seen it yet. I haven't seen it once.
It's a beautiful
Ghost
art
Dad?
film.
Which one?
Disco Worms.
Disco Worms?
Dude,
It
beautiful.
is something else.
I just remember that part where, like, the main character, he, like... Oh, I don't want to burp right into the mic because Liam's touching things. There's that scene where, like, he hears a noise or something outside his house, and he looks out, and then there's just nothing. As in, not there's a person there. There's literally just white nothingness. He's just in this void, and I just don't know why or what happened. I was like, are they trying to go for, like, some really artsy thing here, or do they just not, like, load in the content?
My favorite
of the
part...
background?
You know what happened?
was...
Cosby slipped him some shit in his drink.
In Disco Worms.
Yeah.
He
In Disco
bled
Worms.
over into the movie.
He bled over from
He's a
Ghost
goat.
Dad into Disco Worms.
Ghost
and
Worms
was
Dad.
fucking...
He's a genius.
He's a time traveler because that was, like, months before we ever watched Ghost Dad.
He's a time-traveling rapist.
Disco Worm Dad.
My favorite part of Disco Worms was when there's the whole ending singing competition of the Disco Worms, and the Disco Worms band plays, and then they lose. It's the moment of false defeat, that as in storytelling, and then literally, like, the judges are sitting on the stage, and the main villain, with everyone still there, with the lights still up on the stage, walks over and is just like, hey, here's all that bribe money I bribed you with in order to make them lose. And he just hands them a big sack of money. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, it's like, it's a statement about capitalism, dude. Don't you understand that?
I don't know if it's a statement about anything.
It's a beautiful art film.
How capitalism is just out in the open and can still get away with all that shit.
Exactly.
I think we should watch.
Featuring Jane Lynch.
I think we should watch Disco Worms and find ways to turn it into a art film.
Like a heavy-handed film.
Yeah, into like a heavy-handed art film.
We should do.
For the entire
There's a
thing.
genre of YouTube video called video essays, and they're usually about film, and they're often fantastic. We can make a parody of that about Disco Worms and sort of analyze, like, all the deeper meanings behind all the choices.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, there aren't really any parodies of, like,
Disco Worms?
no, well, I don't know.
Of a video essay.
Yeah, because that's fairly new on the internet.
One of my
I'm sure there's
favorite.
plenty of parodies, just
They're not popular.
good ones.
There's
Yeah,
popular.
which ours would be in the same fucking.
Yeah, I guess so.
Here's the thing. There's actually one of my favorite. There's this filmmaker online who I respect a lot. I found him through him making parodies of video essays, and they're fucking great.
Okay.
They're called Why Is Cinema? And he does like a specific character of it that I've imitated several times, of when he's just talking and, like, he's just like, and so if you look at this shot, you can see that they have the strong men with the muscular arms, and they are going and they're doing these things. I do not own the rights to any of these, but if you want to sell them to me, I'll have them. And he's like, all of his videos are just fantastic, and
I
he's
like
great.
it. Let's do it. Let's kill him.
What?
Why is that always like the end all be all for you?
It's not.
Well,
always.
think about it.
Pretty much.
It's not
Pretty
always.
fucking much.
Bring your up. I want to see the evidence. Do it right now. Pull it up.
Any of the podcasts. I can just play any of the
Do
podcasts,
it.
and you'll talk about killing someone.
Do it right now.
Your usual line of jokes, like if you get on the Josh Yaskovich joke train, the eventual last stop
like-
is "Let's kill them."
Kill them,
Sure, there's
or
like
I
a-
want to die.
Whatever the subject of the previous line of jokes was, eventually you end up at, "Hey, let's kill them."
I mean,
man.
yeah, there's other stops on this like train track and everything, and sometimes there's a detour and all that, but it's always the last stop is.
Now I gotta think of a
Yeah.
new stop. Well, I'll just make it rape. We'll just make it rape.
that's
also
Well,
super not okay.
Is it like make it
That's-
rain or?
Yes.
well that bad joke. I'm gonna declare a bad goof on that. And second off, how can you make that the last stop when it's one of the previous stops?
Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Well, it's like it'll make a loop. It's like time. It's like Matthew
It's a flat
McConaughey's.
circle.
It's a flat circle. That's what we'll do.
I don't like any of that.
Neither do I.
So this is fantastic content.
I was full on ready
Zach.
to give that JoJo bit.
Zach, give us the JoJo bit.
All right, about
Explain to us what you're trying to do with this JoJo
okay,
bit.
And we've
so
reached an hour.
as I know, but nobody else seems to know in this room, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a series that has been going on for a very long time.
It's an anime.
It's an anime and it's
Yeah,
a manga.
don't try to avoid bringing that up.
I mean, yeah.
How long has it been going on for?
Like probably since the 90s.
Oh, that's longer than Naruto.
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and this one.
I'm
actually-
hearing about it now?
Yeah, but like as I said before, like they're even popular, like big in Europe. Like they have the characters for Gucci brand stuff. Like they just have them holding Gucci stuff, and they're like, "Oh, hey, that sells. We like that guy. He once licked a tarantula. That's how we met him. He's cool now, though."
I'm mad at you, Tsunami.
But no, a common theme with JoJo is that everybody's manifestation of their fighting spirit or whatever is just a Western song or an album cover or something like that. There's a guy's name who's Robert E.O. Speedwagon. There is an ancient Egyptian vampire. His name's just Wham. And they mean it completely unironically too. Like, watch out, it's Wham.
And like the main villain.
The whole show is ironic.
Oh,
Like-
it's so like overplayed, and like they have like huge onomatopoeia sounds that pop up every time like a punch or a kiss happens. Just to
kiss?
Yeah, like
Like a smooch?
Yeah.
Smooch pops up on the
except
screen?
it's kind of a forced kiss, and he's like, "Ha, you thought you were gonna kiss your boyfriend, but it was me. I took your first kiss." She's like,
Oh, no, I saw that episode.
Yeah.
That was like the first episode. I
Yeah.
remember watching that.
It's
and
all just so
it's
stupid.
just goofy as shit.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
it's all the idea of taking all those shonen tropes and just like playing with them.
And I love that. But the later seasons, they have these abilities called stands, and each of them are just named after a band or an album or something like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys 3 titles, and I want you to tell me which one you think is the fake stand.
Okay, so like each round is going to be 3, and there's going to be 2 true and 1 false. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay.
And-
Truths and a lie.
Yeah, and just for fun, I want to see if you can kind of, just from the name, you can kind of guess what power it has. Just because, they have powers that can range from just, being able to punch super hard, or the power that it can shoot a bubble of air that explodes, or, every time you open a cell phone, a motorcycle comes out. Something like that. It's just a very specific set of rules that never make sense, and that's why I love this show.
All right.
All right, first round, our 3 potential stands are ELO, Man in the Mirror, and Black Sabbath.
So one of those.
Is
One of
not
those-
real.
one of
Okay,
those
based
is-
on the conversation we had before we started recording, I'm going to say ELO.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also going to say that because
ELO?
ELO.
I'm going to say Man in the Mirror.
You do have a point because out of what Zach knows about music and what he would either know just because he heard it in JoJo versus what he would know and be able to draw from just his own experiences, I'd say it's more likely for him to be able to do that with Man in the Mirror, a Michael Jackson song, versus ELO or Black Sabbath.
Can I bring up a stronger piece of evidence? We've talked about this before, and he's talked about ELO being in the show before, so that's my piece of evidence.
Okay.
So I'm
Well,
saying
fuck, I don't know.
I'm saying Man in the Mirror.
I just remembered just like a day or two ago, I did. Okay, so for like a D&D thing, I did something related to...
I'm just pausing you for a second. This is exactly why I wanted to make this game. Because I know you guys know I'm inept when it comes to Western music and everything like that. You're like, oh, fuck, what does Zach think he knows? But go ahead, Brooks.
Well, basically, I played in like a version of an ELO song to like add to a scene in D&D, and Zach was just like... hey, what? I haven't heard that song before. I'm like, well, it's Sweet Talking Woman by ELO. And he's like, oh, that's a JoJo thing.
Yeah, so there you go.
Oh, shit. Okay, so I'm going to say it's Black Sabbath just because I feel like he fucked me over at the beginning of our conversation before we recorded.
Okay. Yeah?
Because I have Black Sabbath on my hat, and I think he was fucking with us.
Wait a minute. Hang on. Let's think about this logically. I feel like he mentioned Black Sabbath, and then you were just like, "Hey, look at this," and like you pointed to your hat, and he's just like, "Oh, I didn't notice that."
That's bullshit. I think he did notice it.
Did he?
I don't know.
I'm calling Black Sabbath. I got Black Sabbath on the table.
In our answers.
Locking in.
Okay, so we got it down to it's either Man in the Mirror or Black Sabbath. I think I made. Like, with my line of reasoning with the Man in the Mirror, I feel like that's sound, but at the same time, I'm kind of leaning towards Liam, because Liam's usually good with these gut reaction type of things.
Plus, I always wear this hat.
You do always wear that hat.
Yeah. Like, all the time. Like, this is my favorite hat.
I think this is the first time I've ever seen you wear this hat.
That's horseshit, because I wear it all the time. It's either this or my nacho hat.
I've seen the nacho hat.
Yeah.
Never seen this hat before. I'm going to say Man in the Mirror.
Ooh, we got to split. All right,
do we all have to decide, or like on one?
No, I think it doesn't matter who decides at this point.
Fuck.
No, that would make this really way too long. We all had to full jury.
Your thing is like you're thinking Zach is smarter than he actually is. So like he pulled like some Sherlock Holmes like deductive reasoning.
I'm literally wearing the hat.
I
I know he was already planning this shit.
Don't you fucking smile like that, Zach.
And he said the Black Sabbath thing to throw us off.
Did he? Was this
I
all
really do
planned?
think so. I really do think so.
I'm really going to be upset.
Then he's a mad genius, if so.
Like, the only thing stopping me from saying Man in the Mirror is because, like, you know, I feel like I've read, like, something about Jojo and it mentioning that there's a stand called Man in the Mirror. I feel like I just have that vague thing.
You have like that like fake memory. You don't know if it's real or not.
But I'm gonna go with Man in the Mirror. I'm gonna go with my gut.
5, 4.
We all decided.
Okay, you all decided Man in the Mirror. Okay, so it was ELO. That was the fake stand. You didn't take an account.
Horseshit!
You didn't take an account that I was not serious earlier when I said, yeah, ELO. That's a JoJo thing.
No, you said it. You've said it before that.
Yeah, I know. Every time anybody mentions music, I just go, yeah, it's a JoJo thing, because nobody's going to call me out.
So ELO actually isn't in that.
Fuck you.
Now I don't want to watch the show.
Yeah.
Fuck this game. Turn it off. Let's just sit here and listen to ELO music for the next, 30 minutes.
No, because when you said, I'm going to go with Liam's gut reaction, I'm like, wow.
Hey, Liam, I can hear that very clearly when you do that. Yeah. Like, super, like, way more clearly than I, would expect you to.
That's funny.
Do you not hear it?
Well, it's in my ear, so yeah. I just didn't think it would pick up.
No, it's picking up really well.
For
That's
a
really
second,
crazy.
I thought like your headphones weren't plugged into anything, so I was like, "What are you doing?"
There was this
pretending.
That actually reminds me of when we were recording the Drunk Zach episode,
where I kept turning on and off the mic.
Yeah, and it picked it up.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounded awful, and I had to try to cut around that as best I could.
So ELO is not in that show.
No, but Man in the Mirror and Black Sabbath are.
I have no desire to watch this show anymore. You lost me. Good job.
I mean, there's probably an ELO song in it, but
we'll find it right now.
I'll do that afterwards.
Zach, I was going to say that I also now have no desire to watch the show.
But you already did.
But I already watched the show and don't like it, so...
I know you don't, Brooks.
I'm already ahead of the curve.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the Man in the Mirror one just brings people into a mirror world.
Figures.
Yeah.
Figures,
nothing,
of course.
That one's not too crazy. Black Sabbath, that one, its ability is that it causes, hold on.
Sabbaths.
No, hold on.
It causes Sabbaths and they're black.
It's an automatic stand that follows simple commands. It attacks people from the shadows once somebody puts out the lighter it's linked to. It's linked to just like a regular cigarette lighter, and if somebody puts it out, then it just starts attacking. Why? I don't know.
This show's so cool.
It's because a mafia man gave it that power.
So cool, 'cause
Okay.
it doesn't have ELO in it anymore.
Yeah, we've kind of lost interest in both the show and the bit in general. But continue. What's the next round?
Beatles, Kiss, and Spice Girl.
So one of those is fake.
One of those is fake.
I'm going with Beatles.
Yeah, Beatles.
So I also want to say, ignore that Snapchat. I also want to say Beatles as well, but I know the Japanese really like the Beatles a lot because there's a lot of like Beatle. I know, but like there's a lot of Beatle like anime references or like Beatles stuff in like anime, which is really odd. You don't like the Beatles?
I mean,
we can't be friends anymore if you say yes, but you know,
I like that one song.
I like a few of their songs. A lot of their more trippy shit's good, but John Lennon, I fucking hate.
What in God's name is that? Oh my God, it's John Lennon.
That is.
Sounds like
I actually did not know what that was. I think my dad may be doing something with power tools.
Wow, Brooks Vernon, everybody.
Okay, I guess go fuck yourself then. Like, why is that? What was wrong with that assessment? Oh no, okay, we're stopping the show. Zach, I want you to tell me what was wrong with that statement of I don't know what that is. My dad is probably doing something with power tools.
Looks like a brick. Probably is a brick. Sounds like power tools. It's probably power tools.
I still don't understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
It's just him dragging a chair upstairs.
Okay, Zach. No,
Yes,
Zach. Okay, stop. Okay, so you're saying that if it sounds like power tools, it's probably power tools. Okay, that is literally what I said. I'm like, oh,
I know, exactly.
I don't know what that sound is. It's probably power tools.
Brooks, I think Zach was just saying your name for the sake of saying your name.
Yeah.
I think he just like because I don't know if you notice this, but every once in a while we're all hanging out, he'll just go, Brooks Vernon, everyone. Like it's I think he just likes to introduce.
Yeah,
you.
it annoys the shit out of me. I'm tired of it. I'm not gonna let it stand.
Speaking of
Speaking of
stands,
stands,
Segue into stands.
So what were they again? Beatles, Spice
Beatles,
Girl?
Kiss, and Spice Girl.
I'm going with Beatles. It sounds too basic, you know.
Yeah.
it's too on the nose.
It is too on the nose. With Kiss, you can do like a
I'm assuming
fucking
Kiss
thing with
is
it.
like
Wait,
and
hold
then
on. How's it spelled?
Which one?
Beatles.
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 That's it. That's the one.
yeah,
That's fake.
What, Beata or Beat?
Yeah, because if they were like trying to do what they do with all the other stuff,
Oh, they just make it Beatles as in like Bee.
yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm thinking.
I also feel
That's
like
what my brain
Did
did.
they do that with Man in the Mirror?
No, they
Just mirror just spelled with like one R?
no.
Murr.
Man in the Mirror.
okay.
They do that with
We
some
should've-
stands.
The names are actually a good point because we should have known that ELO was fake because for like a fucking action shonen anime where everything has to be elaborate, it would not have been called ELO. It would have been called Electric Light Orchestra.
Yeah.
So we should have picked that up. So I think the names are a good thing. I think Spice Girl is definitely one of the real ones because that's too specific in that it like the dropping of the S of Spice Girls. That's too specific, and that's definitely one of the real ones.
Sure, the Beatles. Why not?
Okay, so this time you guys are correct. The Beatles.
Okay.
I didn't know if I goofed when I spelled Beatles. Like, if it was like a
you
stylized spelling, because I'm like, oh fuck, is it Bee? Did I fuck up?
No, you spelled it the way that the band spells it.
Okay, good. But as for the other two, what do you think the other two? Like, what do you think Kiss? Like,
I'm
what is
assuming
that?
that's the Kiss one that you brought up, where
Yeah.
like the smooch power or whatever the fuck.
No. Like, what do you think? What do you think? Just really, you can just go anything outlandish.
Please ignore the using of power tools on
Brooks
the next.
Vernon, everybody.
They're
You son of a bitch!
they're actually
You
building.
son of a mongrel bitch!
No, we gotta spin this, guys. They're building our
Mongrel
studio
bitch.
for the show. Is what they're doing. That's what that is.
Oh, I don't want to. I like this. I
Fuck
don't want a
you,
studio.
shut up.
I like this.
Yeah,
This is nice.
This is more pure.
This is more pure.
If you would have guessed, Kiss produces 2 stickers, and when you put a sticker on something, it makes them collide. Well, it creates a copy of something, and then you take the sticker off. It brings the 2 copies together, and they
What the
stuff
fuck does that have to do with Kiss?
nothing at all.
Aren't
Nothing
2 of the
at all.
members in
Hang
Kiss
on.
brothers?
I'm
or
going
something?
to.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Okay, so here's what's gonna happen.
Don't make sense.
Liam, I'm going to illustrate with my hands why I think it's called Kiss, and you're going to describe to the audience what I'm doing.
Gonna give him a middle finger.
So you got
He's got two hands up.
And then when you take the sticker off.
They I see, because they come together.
Oh.
And when they're coming together, they do
right
a little
now, over me.
smooshy
I get it,
smoosh.
because it's Beatles.
Because of the Beatles. All right, what the fuck
Over
does Spice
Me?
Girl do?
There's no
Spice
song
Girl.
called Over Me by
Hold
the
on,
Beatles.
shut the fuck up. Does Spice Girl,
trying
is
to
she like
prove a
really
point.
fucking good at cooking? Is she
No.
like really
Does
fucking
she
good at
use
cooking?
It does belong to a woman. But,
Obviously.
but
Then it'd be Spice Boy if it was a man.
no, but every time Spice Girl punches something, it just becomes soft, like real soft boy, like just super soft.
Is it like Brooks levels of soft?
Like, no, like I mean, like,
like physically soft or emotionally soft? Physically soft.
yeah, so not Brooks soft.
So soft like
Can
Yaskovich.
today's episode be called Brooks Levels of Soft?
We got our episode title.
All right,
I just don't know why that's really funny to me.
I don't know how much more time we got, but I've got 3 because I wanted to over prepare.
We are currently at the 36-minute mark.
Okay, so you don't mind because I've got another 3 rounds if you guys don't care.
You got
No,
time.
that's-
Keep going.
yeah,
I'm
that's
having
fine.
fun.
We
This
got
is
time.
fun.
All right, so the next one, Yaskovich, you're gonna have an upper hand on this one. I'd like you to refrain from
Oh, okay.
because the ones we got this time are Killer Queen, Born This Way, and Hotel California.
Okay, so should I just like fuck with them? Should I ruin
All
my
right,
team?
so-
Just keep because wait till they do
No.
something and
Okay.
then
No, I got an idea. Because
Okay.
we were talking about this before we started recording.
Okay.
And you said Killer Queen was one, and you said there was a Lady Gaga one, and Born This Way is a Lady Gaga song, so I'm going with Hotel California.
Also,
Okay.
I would like to point out that I also had a previous conversation with Zach, and the subject came along to Jojo and like the different bands that they choose, and like he was just like, "Hey, name an old band. It's probably a Jojo thing." I'm like, "Okay, the Eagles," and then he's just like, "I actually don't know if that's one." And I'm like, "If it's one, then it's gonna be called Hotel California," and he's like, "I haven't heard one like that yet," and I'm like, "That's the one."
What? But he also did the sort of the same thing with the ELO one, where I was like, I'll name a band.
So he could just be fucking with
yeah,
us.
it's-
Yes,
so
that
it's
is-
like they all could not be true. Who fucking knows?
Yeah, he
we don't
could-
watch the show.
I would not be surprised if there's just a round of all of them are lies.
I thought about it, but I didn't know enough.
Uh,
I didn't know enough regular songs.
Okay.
yeah.
So he says I might have an upper hand. I think I know which one is real.
I told you this in the car earlier.
I know, but like I don't know if you're fucking with me anymore because ELO's not in the goddamn show.
That's fair. But I kind of.
I'm gonna go with Hotel California.
Okay.
Like, even if he's fucking with me, like, that's a respectable answer. Like, even if I'm wrong, I wouldn't mind just having that be my answer.
Brooks Vernon, everybody.
That is Liam's
That is
answer.
disgusting.
That was like some art level shit. Like that was good.
ASMR
artsy.
burp.
The way that it was.
we are not. We are not.
You don't
in-
have headphones on, but that shit was fucking gorgeous.
I do have headphones on, and gorgeous is not the word. Okay, so
Then explain your erection.
Explain it. There it is. It's right there.
Where?
I was
You
thinking.
touched it.
I was thinking about other things, and that is why it is at a half mast. It's unrelated. But also, it's
I saw that Yaskovich, you fucking pretty boy piece of shit.
Oh, what?
A little, like you put your eyebrows up and like purse your lips, like I'm
snapping a cute girl right now. Leave
taking
me
a
alone.
selfie.
Leave me alone.
It's always embarrassing when somebody catches you.
It
taking a
is. It's
selfie.
like I'm trying to not look like a fat piece of shit.
That's why you don't. I'll come back to you. I'm just ripping on Yaskovich. That's why you don't make a face. You just like you just real quick. You just take your phone and go, and then like nobody notices. It just looks like you just
Fuck you.
check the weather like super fast.
I don't know if it was when we were down at Florida or if when she was up here, but I remember Laura catching me in the middle of doing a selfie, and I got super embarrassed. I'm just like, please don't tell anyone.
I don't know why it's embarrassing for guys to take selfies when I'm on Facebook. 90% of the dudes that have like profile pictures, it's their fucking selfies. And
Yeah.
that's all
Don't
I had
see
to say
them
about
take it.
that.
It's just
But still, no, but you have fucking evidence. You have the fucking selfie itself.
Yeah, but it's just watching somebody in public.
I'm actually siding with Zach on this
For
because there's a
once.
difference between fuck you. There's a difference
down, Zach.
between like seeing the end result of a photo and it's a selfie and you're just like, oh, that's a pretty good selfie. That's a decent photo, and then just seeing someone actually like taking it,
Yeah.
like look at it, see that it's bad, try again, and
Yeah.
like that.
With the eyebrows up and the pursed lips.
it's also like a Schadenfreude sort of thing where it's like, oh, that's an embarrassing thing that happens to everybody. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
funny when I'm seeing it on the other side. you know.
It's just not when you're on the receiving end.
No, yeah, it's like
There was a thought that I had that I was going to say before that was brought up, but now I've forgotten it. I don't know.
It had something to do with the JoJo bit,
Probably.
I think.
Hold on here.
I mean, it must have not been that important.
Yeah.
Again, that's
I'm gonna be
podcast.
listening back to this while editing, and then I'm just gonna be like, shit, that's what it was.
Just cut it in real quick.
Hey.
It'll sound completely different.
Hey, this is. I'm just saying this is like just in the middle of the conversation. I decided to whip out a much lower quality mic real quick and just to add my 2 cents.
Doesn't even matter. All right. So yeah, it was Hotel California, Killer Queen, and Born This Way.
And my money's on Hotel California.
Hotel California.
Sure, Hotel California.
Yeah.
Okay,
You got it.
We're 2 for 1.
Born This Way is a motorcycle rider who only comes after you if you open or close something. So you got the
What?
yeah,
Like anything.
anything.
Like if I open a jar of pickles, a motorcycle
would
motherfucker's just
fly
gonna...
out of the jar of pickles.
Fuck that. So you can't open anything in this universe?
No, it's just
You're
when
just so upset about that thing.
I
that,
am. That's
that doesn't
fucked up.
affect you
So,
at all.
the person who's being attacked by this stand. It's there's a whole bunch of different things. Like it's an automatic stand, so like the person. You good?
He's gonna
All
cry.
right, everybody shut up for a second so we can cut this later.
Watermelon.
All right, I'm good.
I thought he
Mic
was gonna
adjustments
cry.
brought to you by Squarespace.
Use the offer code watermelon.
If you use the offer, if you use the offer code, hang on, everyone be silent so we can cut this later. You'll get 10% off of whatever Squarespace does. Websites.
Websites, I guess. I think that's it.
I don't know how it works, but they give us money, so I don't care.
Yeah.
No, but you had the person who's running away from. Yeah, the person who's running away from Born This Way, and they like open a door and there's a motorcycle on their side, like, and they shut the door and they're running away, and they try to get onto an elevator, comes out of the elevator and like, what's happening here? And then he goes to open like a picket fence, and he's like, he looks through the picket fence where he's like, all right, good, it's not there. He pushes it open, the motorcycle's charging. He's like, oh, fuck. And he's like, wait, it must be whenever I open or close something. That's the stand's weakness. I just can't open or close anything. So he's hopping over fences, running through alleyways and everything like that. And you're like, all right, cool. He figured out how to beat it. Now he can get away from it. And then he gets a call on his phone. It's a flip phone. So he flips it open and the fucking motorcycle. And just like, oh, God, this series, I love it so much.
See, what you need to do just to fuck with them is like have a phone in one hand and like a bottle in the other and just open each and close each, and eventually he'll tire out and die.
Or how about you do this? You go to the fucking ocean, stand out on the dock with your phone, and just in the direction of the ocean, just open it up, and there, problem solved.
Well, that's how they defeated one stand before.
Oh, jeez.
They kind of had to throw it into the ocean because it was always tracking movement. So they're like, fuck, and they threw it in the ocean, so it was chasing waves. And you're like, all right, cool. We don't have to worry about that, probably.
Chasing Waves, I love that album. It's also a JoJo stand. I refuse. I
You're
don't,
hurting my ears.
I do not know if that is either an album or a JoJo stand.
I'm sure it is.
And then Killer Queen was just a guy who could, whatever he touches, he could then detonate it at any time.
It was a guy? Was he gay?
Kinda.
What?
He had a
Queen?
He had a
Queen, Freddie Mercury. The
If they're
signs
call-
are there, Brooks.
If they're calling the guy Killer Queen,
yeah.
Okay, I guess I can see where you're coming from with
he
that.
like a queen was like a not a slur, but like a term for like gay people in like the 80s. Too.
He had a
Yeah,
really
I mean,
big hand fetish.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
He was just like really obsessed with hands. I'm not sure what that was
Who?
about.
Freddie
Killer
Mercury?
Queen.
Wait, are we just making up information now?
Oh no,
I don't know.
About in the anime, the guy
Oh.
he was a serial killer, and he always like exploded people except their hands, and he just took their. Yeah, that's exactly what he did with their hands too. He would just
lick
like
'em?
he would keep like dismembered hands in like a book bag. He would take them out, and eat sandwiches with the dismembered hands. He's like, oh, you got a little bit.
using the hands or
Yeah.
just like eating the hands?
No, using the hands to eat a sandwich. And he's like, you got a little bit of mustard on you, and then he would lick the dismembered hand. Like, this guy is fucking creepy.
That seems like too many extra steps to eat a sandwich.
There's a lot of extra. That
Too
you
many
just,
unnecessary
you described.
steps.
I feel like there's
That's
a
JoJo.
there's a very prevalent middleman in this process that can be easily cut out.
And it's a hand that was cut off.
Yes.
It is a hand. Also, I found an EP called Chasing Waves.
I
So
knew it. I
okay.
fucking knew it.
It came out in 2016, so I don't know if it's like in time to
But
be like. used
it
in
also has
JoJo.
another ability called Sheer Heart Attack and Bites
Another-
the Dust.
all Queen songs.
Yep, that's the joke. Bites the Dust explodes you so much that you get sent back in time.
What are you doing?
That was me eyeing to his information.
Are you good?
Yeah.
I thought we only got one each episode, Liam. You're breaking your own rules.
That
here.
wasn't
Only I can break the rules because this podcast is named after me.
Sponsored by Squarespace.
Sponsored by
sponsored
Squarespace.
by Squarespace.
Brought to you by Audacity.
All right, next round. Metallica, Blue Hawaii, and Rocket Man.
I don't know what Blue Hawaii is, so I'm choosing Blue Hawaii.
I'm choosing Blue Hawaii as well.
Actually, fuck that. I don't know what Blue Hawaii is, so it probably is a thing. I'm choosing Metallica because
But I feel
hate
like
Metallica.
Blue Hawaii is something only Zach knows. You know? So
Exactly.
it's some weird Japanese band.
No, they all have to be American bands. Or, yeah, they all have to be American bands.
Just Western bands in
Yeah.
general, because a lot of those are British bands.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
English.
let's consider this. Zach is trying to think of fake ones, and in his mind he's like, Metallica, that's a band.
Exactly, so I'm choosing Metallica.
I'm choosing Metallica as well.
Yaskovich?
Put your fucking phone down.
No,
and
I
answer
know
the
if
goddamn
I know
question.
if we're doing Metallica or not. I just don't trust it.
Get off of Snapchat.
Fuck you.
Quit sending nudes.
I'm not sending.
I'm
nudes.
tired of seeing your peenie.
I'm just sending pictures of your legs. Is what
Why
I've been
pictures
doing.
of my legs?
Just don't ask.
They're
me.
nice legs.
Who are you
Just
sending
shut.
those to?
Look, don't ask.
Who
look,
is receiving those?
Metallica. Sure, it's Metallica for both things. For this, and I'm
so-
sending him to Metallica.
It was actually Rocket Man this time.
Fuck!
That's not a stand.
I knew it.
Metallica is one of the stranger stands.
Okay.
It controls blood, kind of. Well, iron in the blood, like kind of Magneto.
Like metal.
Yeah, you get it? I get it. But there was just a guy walking around, and then the Metallica stand was like, I'm going to attack him. And in one of his blood vessels, just scissors appeared, because he made scissors out of the metal in his blood.
That's essentially just a dumb version of what happened in X-Men 2 with Magneto.
Yeah, it was real dumb. It was hilarious, and I loved it. And then the other one was Blue Hawaii, which is an Elvis Presley album.
Oh, okay.
Who gives a shit about Elvis?
I didn't, but
Probably a lot of Japanese people.
yeah, probably a lot of Japanese.
And my ma.
Oh, your mom a big
I
Elvis
hate
fan?
Elvis.
Yeah, she's an Elvis fan. You know the thing in Pulp Fiction of either you're a Beatles fan, you're an Elvis fan? You know?
Yeah.
I'm neither.
Well, you're a fucking loser, dude.
All right, last round.
I'm a Chuck Berry boy.
We're gonna go last round.
So
Think you can get this one?
you
Yeah,
like
let's
the
do
pee
this.
in Hooker's
All right, last
mouth.
round. We got Beach Boy, Iron Maiden, and Superfly.
Beach Boy, Iron Maiden,
and Superfly.
Superfly. I feel like Beach Boy is like a similar kind of line of thinking as Spice Girl. So I think that
Yeah.
might be real.
I'm going with Iron Maiden.
I'm also going with Iron Maiden.
I will also go with Iron Maiden.
It's Iron Maiden.
Woo!
You guys did it. Beach Boy is just a fishing rod, except it can go through walls and into people's veins.
Well, because I remember you
And then
mentioned
reels them in
Superfly
like a-
before.
I feel like
Yeah.
you asked
Jimmy
me
Neutron.
what Superfly was, and I was like, it's a movie.
I feel like Jimmy Neutron at the end of the TV movie where they were on a game show in space, and we just won the game show in space, and Tim Allen Alien's really mad at us.
I don't remember any of that.
I remember.
I
I remember
any
all
of
that. He stuck his tongue down like a green alien lady's throat. It was weird. It made me feel weird.
So and Superfly, that stand is just a telephone pole. Well, not a telephone pole, like one of the metal ones. You know what I'm talking about?
I like how we went from a fucking motorcycle that can materialize itself out of anything down to a fishing pole and a telephone pole.
Well, it's
just
not- it's like the
this
metal
was the
ones
this
that
was the
have,
pole round, I
You
guess.
mean like
the
power?
generator. Yeah, a power grid, like the power grid things.
You mean power lines?
I think
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
and what does he do?
It's a power line. It's just there. It's stationary, but if you hit it, it like sends the exact energy back. And there's one guy who
It's my dad making something.
his
Just-
stand is Superfly.
He's making the studio for the show.
See, I got headphones on, so
I
I have no idea where the shit's coming from. So I thought like maybe someone was like knocking on a door that was magically behind me. Like I'm a little scared right now.
But
That's a
Liam,
different
there is a
stand.
magic door behind you.
oh shit!
No, look. I mean, seriously, look. There's the door there.
Yeah, there's a door.
I don't know where that came from. I didn't want to bring it up because we were in the middle of recording.
it just kind of happened, man. It was crazy.
Also, I'd just like to note that I realized I probably did something bad. I'm the only one without a mic stand, so I'm just holding the mic, and when I went to scratch my nose, I hit it against my glasses.
I didn't hear it.
It probably made a horrifying noise.
No, that's just when you talk. Got him.
That was mean.
He didn't.
Yeah, he refused that high five.
Yeah, there was a high five that was not
That's
what I
fair.
wanted.
So was that the last round?
Yeah, that was
You
the last
saved
round.
You saved the poll round for the last.
Yes, I made sure to save that poll round
for
for
the
end.
end. I'm being mean. Anyway, yeah. So I think it's about time to wrap it up. We're at 50 minutes.
Yeah,
and,
we got to go see Spooter Dooter.
Yeah, we gotta go see. We gotta go see Spooter Dooter Homecoming.
How does it make you feel that they play the Ferris Bueller song in the trailer?
Wait, which Ferris Bueller song?
Dun, 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 dun.
Boom, bow, boom, bow,
Dun, 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 dun.
boom, bow.
That makes me feel nothing.
I thought it would make you more scared that it was going to be like.
I am okay.
What's his face
Okay,
films?
let's be real.
I've
Okay,
heard good
so
things
we're going
about it,
to.
though.
I have also heard good things about it, but they also said good things about the Amazing Spider-Man when it came out.
I like that one. I just didn't like the actor.
My main thing about this Spider-Man movie is that everyone's sort of pitching it as a John Hughes movie, and I very severely don't like John Hughes movies.
John Hughes.
I agree.
They're like he's a very famous director during the 80s, like
If
Breakfast Club, all the big.
Oh, I like
ones.
Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I like it too.
He did all the coming of age movies
Yeah.
for the 80s that everybody comes all over.
Ferris Bueller is a real bad movie. I will hear no arguments against that.
I disagree.
And
I disagree
But
as well.
basically,
I wouldn't
that-
say real bad.
I'd say real
It's not
bad.
good.
It's not. I would agree.
But it's not real bad.
I'd say
I
I'd
disagree.
say it fits on good. It's not amazing. It's good.
I really don't like it.
Well, then there's something wrong with you, and your opinion is wrong. So fuck you. See?
Fuck everybody. We're all wrong. Yeah.
Follow us on SoundCloud,
History will vindicate
iTunes,
me.
Spotify.
Stop talking over
That's
people,
what
Zach.
Brooks,
or
you
under
know who
people.
also said that? Hitler.
Zach, I just like to say, I specifically waited for them to do their bit so I could say something, so I couldn't talk over anyone, and I talked over you because you were doing your quiet bit, and I couldn't hear you.
Ow! That was loud!
Ow.
So anyway,
I'm sorry, Liam.
this Spider-Man movie, it's gonna be either good, which is what I'm hoping for, like good, better than the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but not as good as the Raimi films because those films are amazing. Or it's just going to be, okay, which is the worst that Marvel does. Say what you will about Marvel, they don't make a movie worse than just okay. They're not DC.
Yeah.
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 For a second, I was like, hey there, I like DC, but then I remembered the current DC movie universe is complete and utter horse
Other
shit.
than Wonder
You're
Woman.
thinking
Current
of the Nolan
Wonder
universe,
Woman.
you're like, that's really good. And you're like, oh no, all this shit exists. Oh, fuck.
Okay, so the way it goes is just like Batman Begins. It's like, hey, this is pretty good.
Hey, this is a
Dark
nice
Knight.
take.
This is really great.
Oh, that's
Dark
a cool
Knight
take.
Rises. Okay, less
Tom
less
Hardy,
good.
all right, cool, great.
Yeah,
I like Tom
cool.
Hardy a lot.
You know.
Man of Steel is just like, okay, you got some good parts, but you got some real bad ones in there. Batman v Superman. This is complete garbage.
Did you get M. Night
Suicide
Shyamalan?
Squad. This is also complete garbage. Wonder Woman. Oh hey, a good movie again.
I still need.
Let's
I
keep
still
this
need
going,
to finish
maybe.
Wonder Woman. I never even finished it.
Yeah.
You don't need to finish it. Like the last.
I'd
5
say the
minutes, I wasn't
weakest
a fan.
part of it is the last, like the
Okay.
ending of it.
Is-
I'm
See,
not
that's
really. I'm not
terrible.
really enjoying
Yeah.
the beginning.
Did you see it?
No.
Okay.
I'm not. Fuck DC right now. Fuck their movies.
Okay.
I'm not touching that.
It's just-
I'll watch it for you, Liam, and tell you if it's worth watching.
'Cause-
Okay, so the way that I see Wonder Woman, like the Wonder Woman movie, I really loved it. The way that I see it, the beginning is kind of weak because they throw a lot of stuff at you. A rare case in movies, the second act is fantastic. And then the ending, they felt the need to put in a big DC fight, and it's dumb. But the qualities of the movie are to a level of where I say it is very, very good despite its flaws.
So the goods outweigh the bads.
Yes.
So we gotta wrap this up to go see the movie.
Yeah, we gotta
Wonder
we gotta go now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta go see
Alright, fine.
Spider-Man.
Okay, so for the plugs real quick, we are on SoundCloud. We upload every Monday night unless we miss a night, and then we also put the episodes up later on YouTube. So you can follow us on SoundCloud, subscribe on iTunes, leave us a rating or review. It helps us out a lot. And you can also go to our YouTube channel, 100 Years Productions, subscribe there, like, comment, share it around. It helps the show out a lot. If you like it, just tell a friend about it. We don't have an advertising.
That's also a JoJo song.
Fuck you. You don't get to talk anymore.
We don't advertise the show in any way, so you guys telling people about it, be like, hey, check this thing out. Like that's the only thing we've got in order for like helping the show grow. So like we're very thankful for anyone who listens to it. If you want to talk to us, give us a shout out or like tell us how to improve the show, or just if you just want to give us a just talk or something. I kind of stumbled on that. Brooks and Zach 100 Years at gmail.com. It is in the description of every episode and video. Just send us an email. It's the best way to get in contact with us. Other than that, personal Twitters. I'm at Squeezy McCheesy. Liam is at Lamwall. Zach is at Brave Snuggles. Josh is at Barrett Films. The Twitter account for the show itself is at 100 Years Pod. And then we also have the Facebook page, 100 Years Productions, where we... on both of those, we put all of the content that we do.
I'm Dr. Goomba on Instagram.
Yeah. And I think that's about it in terms of the plugs. So, Zach, if you want to do the same sign-off you always do.
Same sign-off as it always is.
Yep.
It's a nice hot day. You can feel the sun beating down on you, and you look down at the pool beneath your feet, and you see that it's filled with honey this time. It's okay, you say to yourself as you dip one toe in. You pull it out slowly as the viscous liquid connects. You dip one hand into it and go, yes, I could really enjoy this. I just need to put my mind to it. And you dive headfirst deep into the bowels of the honey. You are deeper and deeper into this honey pot than you ever wanted to be. You can't escape. And with a muffled scream, you shout a gurgle of Brooks and Zach 100 Years. Hey, thanks for watching. What do you want from me, Brooks?
See ya.
Stanley's dead.